Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lex. Today we're going to be talking about 5 tips and tricks when it comes to budgeting and saving your money. This is something that I've always wished someone could talk me through and walk me through step by step, how to manage my money, what to do with it, all that good stuff. So I thought it'd be a good idea for me to make a video about it. And this is not to say that I'm some professional money management person. I'm all still very much new to this as well. I've kind of just figured out a couple tips and tricks that I've noticed have worked for me. So I figured I'd share them with you guys. But without further ado, let's just get right into the video. First tip. Break down your checks as soon as you get them. What do I mean by break down your checks as soon as you get them? By break down, I mean budget. Divide up your money, however you want to say it. But I know that most people get paid on Fridays, and I wouldn't recommend going into the weekend without breaking down your check first or budgeting out your check first. Because if you go into the weekend with the I just got paid mindset, I got money to blow, and then you're going out to the club, you're going out to eat, you're going to the mall, whatever the case is, and you're just spending a lot of money because you just got paid, you're gonna spend more than you want to. I can almost guarantee. So I would highly recommend, like I said, breaking down your check as soon as you get it. I'm talking about Friday. Don't wait till Sunday, because by then the weekend's already done and the damage to your card is probably already done too. So really sit down with yourself and give every dollar a name. That's how I like to refer to it. Giving every dollar a name. When I personally get paid, what I like to do is go to the bank and take out that money, which is another huge key, is taking out your money. Do not leave all of your money on your card. Of course you can leave some, that's the whole point of a card, but I wouldn't just leave your whole paycheck on your card, because when your money is all on your card and you're just swiping, it's a lot easier to swipe and not think about what money is actually leaving your pockets, versus when you have your money in cash and you have to physically take out X amount of dollars and hand it to whoever, you're physically seeing that money leave. So it just has a different impact versus if you're just swiping away. So if you're seeing that you're spending X amount of dollars and you think it's too much, then you can catch yourself. Versus if you're swiping for X amount of dollars and you can't see it physically leaving, you're more likely to continue to swipe. You want to take out cash so that you can see money in front of you. That way it's easier to break it down as well. If you're budgeting your money but all of your money's on your card, it just makes it a lot harder to say, okay, this money's for that and this money's for this, because it's all together in one card. So just take out your money, make it easier for you, give every dollar a name. So that leads right into my second point, which is to know your expenses, which is kind of common sense, but I mean really know your expenses. Know exactly how much money is leaving your possession in a month-to-month basis. So what are your fixed expenses? What are your variable expenses? What are your bills? Netflix subscription, for example, rent, light bill, water bill, I don't know, Apple Music subscription. Write down, Apple Music subscription. I know it's only $5-10, but write it all down, because it all counts and it's all an expense. So write everything down, write how much each one costs and the grand total of all your expenses all together. And that could be for the month, or for the next 2 weeks until you get paid again, or for the next week until you get paid again. However you want to do it, just know what expenses you need to cover under the paycheck that you just received. And for tip number 3, set savings goals. So I didn't realize how important this was until I actually started doing it, which is another kind of common sense thing, but it's something that not everyone does. Some people just think that, if they save money here and there, it'll add up. But if you really want to save a lot of money, then you need to be intentional with saving your money. So if you're saving up for an apartment or a car, for example, or a shopping spree, whatever the case is, have in mind when you want to have the money saved up for that thing, and then also have in mind how much money is required to purchase that thing. So if it's a car, for example, let's say it's a used car, so you need $5,000, for example, right? When do you want to have that $5,000 by? Is it the end of the year? Is it in the next 6 months? Whatever it is. Set a time for when you want to have that money saved by, and then now you can backtrack. Okay, I need $5,000 saved by January. It is currently June. How much money do I need to save on a month-to-month basis to make have $5,000 saved up by January? How much money do I need to save on a week-to-week basis, on a day-to-day basis to make sure that I'll have $5,000 by January? Like, just being very intentional about it. Something that I heard Kevin Hart say in an interview is that he recommends saving 50% of every paycheck. That is something that has stuck with me. That is something that I have tried to live by because it only makes sense. You know the saying, save more than you spend? And yeah, it is easier said than done, because say you get a check for $1,000, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I saved $600 and I only spent $400, because it's like, you know? But I think like 50%, saying that you're gonna save 50% of each check that comes your way, I think that's a little bit more realistic and definitely doable. So if you get a check for $1,000, cut it right in half. Take $500 and put towards your savings before you could even think about what else you could do with that money. I'm telling you, take it and put it away, and then use the remainder $500 for whatever it is that you need to buy or to go towards your expenses, to be more specific. Tip number 4 is to do the envelope system. I'm pretty sure we've all heard of this before. If you haven't heard of the envelope system before, basically what it is when you write on an envelope, groceries for instance, and then you stuff money in that envelope for groceries. But the way that I did it is I followed the 100 envelope challenge, which I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but basically it is when you number 100 envelopes 1 through 100, and basically each day or each week or however you want to do it, you stuff that amount in that envelope. Envelope number 1, you're putting $1 on there inside the envelope. Envelope number 2, you're putting $2 inside the envelope. And envelope 100, you're putting $100 in the envelope. So essentially, the highest amount that you need to put in an envelope is $100. So basically with this envelope system, this 100 envelope system, you're going to save $10,000 in 100 days. That is if you are stuffing this envelope on a day-to-day basis, but I'm not doing it that way. If you were to do it on a week-to-week basis, you would be seeing $10,000 at the end of 100 weeks, which is basically 2 years, which is too long for me. So I cut that in half, and basically I'm stuffing an envelope, or I'm stuffing 2 envelopes once a week at least. And most of the time I'm doing it a little different. But nonetheless, here are my envelopes, right? So they're labeled all the way to 100, 1 through 100, right? And so instead of putting $1 in the number 1 envelope, I'm putting $2. Instead of putting $2 in the $2 envelope, I'm putting $4. And instead of putting $100 in the 100 envelope, I'm putting $200. Are you guys following? Basically, I just doubled the amount so that I can get to that savings of $10,000 much faster than if I were to just follow the numbers that are on the envelopes. I also found this cute little 100 envelope sheet online, and it literally just has 100 envelopes on there. And basically, whenever you fill an envelope, you just highlight it, and yeah, this way you're able to track your progress. And I found that this just makes it a lot more fun as well. I just like to do this better than having all of my money in a savings account, because from what I hear, savings accounts have very low interest rates, and also you're able to easily like take money from your savings at any time too, which I just don't really like that for myself. But with this system, where all of your savings is in separate separate envelopes, you're a lot less likely to dig into an envelope and like take money from there, especially because you already highlighted on here which envelopes are stuffed. So then you'd have to cross out the envelope, and it just makes it harder for you to spend money that you're trying to save. And that's what we want, because like I said, the whole point of this video is budgeting and saving. So yeah, so I've been doing this since January. And I was gonna wait until the end of the year just to show you guys that, like, look, I did it, but I don't want to gatekeep, and I think that this is something that could be beneficial to a lot of people, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So I hope that is clear to you guys. If you want to do this, please don't feel like you have to wait until January to do it, because you could do it right now. We're in June, you still have 6 months into the new year, so you can still save $5,000 by January, or you can save $10,000 by next year, June. So I would not wait to do this. I would highly recommend that everyone at least try it out. I feel like this is the most effective way to save large amounts of money in a quick amount of time, for me at least. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. But leading into my last point, which is tip number 5, I would recommend everyone have an emergency fund. This is something that I just learned about like 3 years ago. But that is going to prevent you from dipping into your savings should an emergency pop up. I feel like $1,000 can take care of, I don't want to say most, but it can take care of some emergencies, or like give you like a cushion or so. But you can have an emergency fund of however much you want, as long as you feel like it can cover your butt in an emergency. And that's gonna prevent you from dipping into your savings or dipping into your envelope system, which is what we do not want to do ever. But yeah, having that money set aside that is specifically for if things go wrong. So you're basically just covering all your bases, making sure that, you know, no surprise could pop up that could really throw you off course. And yeah, you're just prepared for emergencies when you have an emergency fund. That pretty much concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Really hope you found it helpful. I hope I explained everything well enough. I hope you guys use my tips, especially the envelope system, because I want us all to have thousands and thousands and thousands saved up. We can do it. We just have to stay consistent, create a system, and just stick to it. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, make sure you comment down below what other videos you'd like to see from me, and stay tuned for the next one. Love you guys. Bye.